Hi, Konko Daijin. Thank you everybody for coming here today for our Sunday service. As earlier mentioned, Yano Sensei is at Hilo Kyokai. They're having their spring grand ceremony today. So Yano Sensei left very early this morning and we hope their service is going well. Recently on Netflix, Clayton and I have been watching this very interesting reality show. And it's called Age of Attraction. I'm not sure if anybody else is watching that. And it's basically a dating show and has an interesting concept. So they gather like many, I don't know how many dozens of people were in this one gathering area. And people in their younger 20s to like people in their 60s just mingle. And they just meet up with people who just vibe with each other. And they don't know their age. And that's the thing, they're not allowed to tell each other until they confess their love for each other in this special, like the confession room or something, like a promise room. And they reveal their age and they're like so shocked because some of these people are like 20, 30 years apart. And, you know, some people, they look really younger than their age. And one couple was like 33 years apart in age. And they were so shocked. She was like, "Oh my gosh, that's as old as my dad." I was like, and some couples, right away you can feel it. Within seconds, they like spark joy. But then some couples are like, this couple is very iffy. And you can feel the hesitation, the tension, the discomfort. And I guess that's the energy they are exposing. And as we keep watching, we realize something. And the couple that didn't spark joy at all had one thing in common. They had trust issues. And Clayton and I were like, these guys are not going to make it. They're just not. And it was plain for the world to see which couples were the strongest and which ones were the weakest. In one of the episodes, the couples had to meet each other's families, and and some of the participants were like, "Oh no, my family can't meet this partner I met because he's younger than my oldest son." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna be cringy," and that's when things got really more intense, I guess. And some of these couples, they had that large age gap. And me and Clayton were like, "Oh, we're shaking our heads." So, I don't know, but we just love watching the show. And we're like, no, these people, they're not thinking rationally. They're not thinking about the future up ahead. They're just in this little bubble. They're in this like love bubble. And they're kind of blind to other people's opinions or like what would actually be best for them. And likewise, even the parents and the friends that met the new people that they introduced were saying the same things we were saying. But for one couple, we felt they complemented each other really well. And one was a kind of in an emotional side, while the other guy, he was like a rock. He's so zen. His energy was like so calming, and even if the girl was a little bit like emo, he's like so accepting of that energy. And I was like, oh, this couple is pretty good. And it seems like the father of that girl noticed it too. And knowing his own daughter, because of course, they raised her since she was a baby. And seeing how she interacted with her new partner, the girl's father, he said something that was so deep. And I had to rewind it again just to listen to that quote again that the father said. And it was so deep. I loved it. He said, "I think it's like joy. I know this is a weird way to express joy, but when you get to a place where you can trust your kid, you feel so fortunate." I'll say it again. "I know this is a weird way to express joy, but when you get to a place where you trust your kid, you feel so fortunate." And that's, I think, something that only a parent understands. Somebody who actually raised a child, even if it's an adopted child, so a parent can fully understand what that feels like. When I heard that, this is like exactly what Kami-sama feels for us. I'm like, oh, this is exactly what Kami-sama feels. Because that's such a deep kind of joy. It's not like a excitement, like, yeah, I'm happy, happy. It's like it's a trust. I trust and I'm happy. It's not pride, but it's the quiet joy of trust. And I kept thinking about that statement. Because a relationship without trust is like building a house built on a weak foundation. You can decorate it, you can make it look beautiful, you can make it huge, magnificent, and impressive, but underneath, if that foundation is unstable, there's always that risk where it could all collapse at any moment. And then naturally my thoughts turned inward and I began asking myself, am I living in a way that I can be trusted? Am I serving Kami-sama in a way that reflects trustworthiness? Am I living as a daughter in a way that my parents can feel that quiet joy, knowing they can trust me? Am I? I don't know, do you trust me or can I? And then I asked myself, does Kami-sama feel that sense of quiet joy for me? Does Kami-sama trust me? And this is not a question we ask often. We usually think about our trust in Kami-sama. It's even on money. In God we trust. I trust Kami-sama will guide me. We say that. I trust Kami-sama will protect me. I trust Kami-sama will help me through difficulties. But what about the other way around? Can Kami-sama trust you? Can Kami-sama trust us? When we look at the life of Konko Daijin, we see a person who had absolute trust in Kami-sama. Even when the instructions he received didn't make any sense, even when they seemed unreasonable, even when they could have been misunderstood by others, he followed through. Not halfway, not conditionally, but with sincerity and full trust. I think about the time when the founder had to stop his practice of faith. He was banned by the government to stop practicing faith, stop accepting any believers that came by to request prayers. And to him, that was really big. He didn't express it as something big. I know to the founder, that was something really big in a deep, dark phase he was in. He had to follow the rules of the government, and he did. He just went with the flow. He had full trust in Kami-sama, and he was like, during that time, it's called the Shinzen Tekkyo, the prohibition of his practices, that he received the divine reminder, the Tenchi Kagitsu. It was during his darkest days he received this amazing message. It was a light. It gave him the light. And not only to him, it gave the light to hundreds of thousands, probably even to millions of people who have received the divine reminder, who have received the Tenchi Kagitsu. So in this time of most uncertainty came the light for the founder. But this came as no coincidence. This came to him because he had the absolute trust in Kami-sama. The kind of trust where Kami-sama can feel that sense of deep, quiet joy for you. And because of that, there came a point where Kami-sama trusted him back. There's a Konko teaching that says, people trust Kami, but Kami trusts only a few. There's another teaching that goes, there isn't even 1 in 1,000 who receives true divine blessings. What does that mean? Because everyone receives divine blessings, right? So what does that mean? Receive true divine blessings. There's not even 1,000 who receives true divine blessings. And then it made sense to me. Is to be trusted absolutely by Kami-sama. And that's the 1 in 1,000. And that's a really powerful statement. Not even 1 in 1,000. Not because Kami-sama is very selective or harsh, but because true trust requires consistency, sincerity, and reliability over time, right? So the question becomes, am I that 1 in 1,000 person that Kami-sama trusts? And maybe even more realistically, am I even trying to at least work toward becoming that 1 in 1,000 that Kami-sama trusts? Trust is not built overnight, and we all know this. In relationships, we know this. You don't meet someone one day and instantly trust them with your heart. is built through small actions and keeping your word, arriving on time, showing up, being honest, and being consistent. That's really important. Over time, trust grows. And it's the same in our relationship with Kami-sama. Trust isn't about what we say in prayer. You can say the Tenshi Kaketsuki 1,000 times, but if there's no sincerity in your heart, it means nothing to Kami-sama. It's about how we live every day. Trust is a true merit, but it can be scary because it can be lost overnight. And we all know that. With one word you didn't mean to say, with one action that you regret, that trust can be broken. A breach in trust is literally a crack in a vessel. And you can kintsugi. You know what kintsugi is? A beautiful art form where you break a tea bowl in Japan and you put it together with some kind of special glue and you put like these gold flakes on it so it has this beautiful crack line, but it's like filled in with gold. I mean, it's nice, but hey, there's a crack under there still yet, and it's a weak point. And it'll be prone to breaking. Do we turn to Kami-sama or only when we need help? Or do we stay connected even when things are going well? Do we follow through on what we feel guided to do, or do we hesitate when it becomes inconvenient or mendokusai? Do we live in a way that reflects sincerity even though no one is watching you? Are we cutting corners? Do we do things just for the profit to make more money out of things? Doing undesirable things because you think nobody is watching. I'm the only one in the room. There's no one watching, so I can do whatever I please. We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. Because the walls, they're watching you. The lights, the fan, the gecko on the wall. They're watching you. They're watching. And most importantly, Kami-sama is watching you. We cannot hide anything from Kami-sama. Even our thoughts are naked to Kami-sama. So it's a really scary thing. Trust, real trust, is not built in the big moments. It's built in the small, everyday choices that we make in our lives. So when that father on that Netflix show spoke about the joy of trusting his child, that light bulb went on, and that kind of joy is the joy of Kami-sama. It's quiet, it's not loud or flashy again. It's deep, it's peaceful. It's the kind of joy that comes from knowing I don't have to worry about my kid. I don't have to doubt. I can trust. Now, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing if our parents could feel that about us? If the people around us could feel that about us? And even more, if Kami-sama could feel that about us, then we'll be that 1 in 1,000 who can truly receive the ultimate blessings. Not because we are perfect, but because we are sincere, because we are trying, because we are showing up again and again with honesty and gratitude. The couple on that show that sparked joy, it wasn't because they were perfect matches. It was because they had mutual trust and that openness. And you could feel it. I think everybody watching the show can feel it. And the couples who struggled, no matter how good things looked on the surface, without trust, something was missing. In the same way, our relationship with Kami-sama is not about appearances. It's not about how things look on the outside. It's about what's happening in the foundation where we cannot see. So today, I want to leave you with this reflection. When Kami-sama looks at you, what does Kami-sama feel? Does Kami-sama feel uncertainty for you? Or does Kami-sama feel that quiet joy, knowing this person is sincere? This person is trying. This person can be trusted. We may not be perfect, but we can take one step at a time to try to reach that level. One sincere action, one honest prayer, one moment of gratitude, and little by little, we move closer to becoming that 1 in 1,000 Ujiko, Kami-sama's child, that Kami-sama wants us to become. So let's practice building our lives on a strong foundation on trust. Not only trusting Kami-sama, but living in a way that Kami-sama can trust us. Because in that mutual trust, there is stability, and there will be peace, there will be happiness, And again, there will be that quiet joy that's going to keep supporting our lives. Yes. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.おはようございます。今日はサンデーサービスで、ヒロ教会の天地神の神様のご大祭先生、朝早くからいただきました。久しぶりにここにいただきます。I couldn't understand what deeply, I don't know that what is she talking. でも trust is so important ね。in the society, trust is so important. In the hospital, kindness, in the family とかスクールでも、relationship with the human relationship でも kindness, love とかそういう cannot seem but なんか so important ね。それが大切って言うけど、people say 大切。でもwe do not learn at school, like mathematics とかね、サイエンスとかいっぱいあるでしょ。私たちはこう習いますね。We learn この study。でも unseen なこの kindness とか love とか trust とかね、that また、we do not、learn。でも hard to obtain。でも so important ね。でもthe Konko religion, the religion area っていうかね、teach us. So, we trust とか love other people とか、be kind とか sincerity とか that、この feeling というか、この unseen so important kind は神様の heart or equal parent の heart。神様 teach us this in that things。でも as a parent to our children, other people, be kind, そして trustful person, それから be sincere とかbe honest とか。if dishonest とかこの patience がなかったりしたから私 so worry ね if my children でもそれは 神様の teaching is 神様の thing 思いだ、思いっていうかね、イコールparent の思い。根高教は親の思い、parent のthought を教える teaching で、根高教の teaching は親 parent、 この parent がどうあったら、子供がどうあったらいいかなっていう思いがイコール根高教の親神様、parent God って言いますけど、それのフィーリングと同じに。So we study っていうか、we study, we have to listen the teaching more often and then encounter hardship. Then at that point we step up the この parents のハートとか、なんていうかな、how to overcome, how to discipline our heart とか、こういう more something step 何か encounter something, then step up the spiritual training. So 私はmy parents 人の悪口で
gossip.
Don't say the gossip でbe nice other people ね、and then do not put down other discriminate とかしてはいけません。sometimes このメンタルチャレンジの人とかね、すごくプッダウンされるね、それからディセーブルの人とかin the society kind of tend to put down ね。でも my parents when I was small do not いつも言ってた always say。 そして壁に耳あり戸板に目あるよレイコちゃんって言ってたなんか悪いこと things 壁 the wall に壁に耳ある、壁に誰かがこう聞いてるかもしれないね。壁に耳あり戸板、この板ね wall に目があるって watching、sometimes broken 壁があるでしょ、そこからこうピッと割れとってここからピーティングしてるよって。だからnot say the 悪いこと bad things ね。そして影と日向の心を持つなって、影との日向に影にシャドウね、で日向にサン、そう影と日向の心を持ちなさんな do not having a heart いいんやんっていうかポジティブとこのネガティブなこのオポジットをあれね、影と日向になせ someone watch you then なんか do nice ね。それでsomeone doesn't watch you over you doesn't ね。それから something マニがあったらとかね。それから悪いことするスティーリングとかね、バーグラとか nobody watching と思って do something ね。そういうことを絶対するなんてもうちっちゃい時から when I was small always said 言ってましたね。それから if you do not encounter この、bad things ね、do not suppose ね、君子危うきに近寄らずって偉い人、この頭のワイズの人は君子にワイズパーソンね、ハイランクの人はね、バッドシチュエーションに do not encounter っていうか
avoid
だから、dangerous situation 君子危うきに近寄らずっていうのそれから千里の道も一歩から、それでfor a long time このlife is so long ね、マウント富士でclimbing up so long distance でもin the so long 千里面1000 gonna be my 40,000 so 4,000っていうかね、so long way でも step by step 一歩から one by one step by one step だから着実に進めっていうかなんていうかスティリー
one step at a time
これ割ってステップバイステップcarefully walk not carefully carelessly に歩くなというか do not walk ね。いつもこのことわざ ordinary people say something ことわざと言いますね。My mom always いっぱいそういうふうなことを言ってましたね。そういうふうにしてちっちゃい時 when I was small 人のものを取ったらいかんで do not steal other people even the one flower in the other garden other people の garden チュンとしたらいかんよレイコちゃんそれは多分そういう my mom said そういう such like a person になってほしくない don't want to ね so まあ seems like same teaching in the 経典も how to live the people ねhow to live how to この having a この heart of good heart ねでなんていうかなそういうふうな教えているけどある私はsometimes listen to the teachings other churches big 問題 problem encounter then お届けするねお届けするとすぐpeople want to お届け then results quickly にshow they want to ね quickly にこの good results they are waiting ねでも違うのね神様 is not so quickly doesn't give us the おかげでonce trust 神様 trust 神様いいように神様 arrange the good way they gradually show us the receive divine blessing ね give us divine blessing でも people want to hurry ね、good result they are waiting でnot そのハリが良くないっていうのそれで天地界の people believe that 天地界の神様天地界の神様だった parents God ね everything sustain our life that so trust 神様 trustful 神様 we believeで then お届けでも、if no divine blessing then people think about なんでやいなって why how come why 私になんで私にっていうか how come ってなんでやいなって大阪弁だけどなんでやいななんでおかげがないんだろうってこういう神様に変わってるってチェンジング神様のネームってhow come 神様よねなんでやいななんでどうして how come っていうalways 神様どうしておかげがないんだどうしておかげがないんだっていう毎日がね every day なんでやねんって言ってそういう神様にチェンジしていく自分の trustful なハートがね once trust 神様ってお届け then stay calm and rely on それじゃあ gradually このハーモニアスなカームなハートがなんていうかなkey of the Konko religion so even something happen でも try to calm and usually このパニックになったりこの怒るreally angry になったりでもstill calm always divine favor depends upon この one's harmonious joyful heart keeping ずっとそういうno matter what happened harmonious joyful heart そういうふうなシチュエーションkeeping our heart like that で、we overcome 神様が言ってますね。だから、do not change 神様の name って、なんでやねん神様じゃなくって、always trustful 神様、生き神、金光大臣様、天地界の神様、always believe, absolute believe to 天地界の神様。And then 神様 give us the 本当に、good result gradually later on。それで、that the CD teach us。でも people 待てないね。cannot wait ね。でもそこのところを待つ。that the spiritual practice かなと思いますね。あとはできていることをお礼申すというかね。this point は cannot obtain, but this part is perfect ね。そこのところもうデイリーにありがとう、ありがとうという thankful heart で every day spend that heart が、まあ、人生を豊かにしますとかね。ハッピーライフに持っていきますね。It's bring the happy life。ここはちょっとハードだけど、this one is この appreciation, the gratitude, more weight, more たくさんね、gratitude, appreciation. Try to this one way. This way is focus. And then 神様、try to saving. まあ何を言ってるのかわからなかったでしょうけどまあ trust absolute 神様本当に receive gave us the おかげということを信じて we believe that part で毎日おかげをいただいてまいりましょう。ありがとうございました。すいません。じゃあ、金光大臣、天地金の神、一心に願い、おかげは我が心にあり、今月のするために。Sincerely, all your heart, one with one, come His presence in deep heart, grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Let us come always, now and forever on this blessed day. Pray.
ナンバーI think 22. We did number 20. Did we read?
No, there yet.
Did we read that?
I'm not sure.
Ah,
She didn't write everything.
20を読んだ覚えてる
We read that one already.
Yeah, I know we read that one. How about 21? We read that one. How about 22? 23?
I think she's right.
20, which one?
25.
25だお母さん。うん。はい。読みます。You wash your hands and mouth with water. But how do you wash your disposition? It is with sincere, conscientious faith.
26. Since everyone is a child of Kami, try to improve yourself and your family to love yourself and your family. Apply this love toward others.
27. Complaints come from those who receive divine blessings, not from Kami, who gives divine blessings.
28. Don't ever regret losing. The person who is patient enough to lose first will win and receive divine virtue.
I will never tell you to chant prayers or anything else. I only tell you to practice a sincerity. Can't you even do that?
ありがとうございます。30. Don't forget the beginning of your faith. 31. Be prudent toward the things you like. 32. You don't need someone to practice faith with. ありがとうございます。